What's going on, listeners? It's your host Raycarpio, swinging it back with another POP number 64. Yeah. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into my videos, my podcast. Links will be in the description if you don't know where my podcast is. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for taking a minute out of your day to listen to what I have to say. And before I get to the topic of today, if you love a content creator that brings out the best in you, consider subscribing. All right, so today I'd like to talk about accountability. So I was on Google searching up a deeper meaning of what accountability is, and I landed on this website called inc.com. And I have the paper here. The guy's name is Gordon Treadgold. So what I'm basically going to do is just kind of go down a list of 7 truths about accountability. And then if you guys see any value out of it, like leave a comment or something. Or if you don't see any value out of it at all, that's totally fine. I'm just going to talk about the 7 truths and just kind of go down a list off this list here. So number 1, accountability starts with you. For example, if you want someone to look up to you, or if you want someone to be accountable, you have to keep yourself accountable first. So if you want to get something done, you have to get it done yourself. So that way, whoever's going to look up to you, or basically, if you want to talk, if you're going to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. A personal example would be me with these podcasts. I told myself that I'll post a podcast a day, a video a day, and I have to keep myself accountable for that. Number 2, you are accountable for everything. If you take full ownership of everything, you're not pointing any fingers at anybody else. The only person that you're pointing fingers at is yourself. And that is like one of the biggest things that I got out of this article here is basically you are accountable for everything that you've done, no one else. Number 3, accountability is not a one-time thing. For the people that don't want to be accountable for certain things, they will always find a way to slip out of it, or find a way of blaming others or pointing fingers at everybody else, because they don't want to be accountable for the failures, especially the failures, but then they want to be accountable for the successes if it does end up working out. So it is not a one-time thing. You have to keep everyone accountable, especially yourself, not just in one aspect, but in everything, in your business, your organization, your health, your wealth, everything. Number 4, accountability applies to one and all. That means you can't have favorites. You can't expect your brother to be accountable for one thing. You have to keep everybody else accountable, like for example, I have my brother keep me accountable for waking up sometimes, or I have my girlfriend keep me accountable, keeping me accountable for going to the gym sometimes when I don't feel like it myself, or she gets me to go do this and do that. Like I have my mother, my aunt to keep me accountable, anybody else that's around my circle that I tell to keep me accountable, because there are times that I do slip up, No favorites. Number 5, accountability cannot be delegated. Accountability is something that has to be accepted for that person to feel accountable, and to have them take ownership. And the best way to get people to accept accountability is making sure that they have everything that they need to become to be successful at whatever that they're trying to do, and at whatever that you're trying to keep them accountable for. If you fail to give them everything that they need to become successful, it's going to be very hard for them to accept accountability. Number 6, accountability is the difference between success and failure. Now, I don't 100% believe in this, but it does have a major point, and I'm going to read it out to you. So when people don't take accountability and things start to go haywire, as they don't feel ownership, they go into a spectator mode and watch as things fail. If they thought it would fail from the outset, it's even worse. They go into I told you so mode, which nearly always becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whereas when people take ownership, if things start to go wrong, they step into solution mode. They start to try and figure out what's going wrong and try to fix it. Teams that are successful are full of people that go into solution mode. They are full of people who not only care, but will take care of things when things are going wrong. So that's what I got out of that. Because a lot of people, when they don't want to take full accountability and things start to go wrong, they're like, I told you so, dude. I told you that wasn't going to work. They start going into spectator mode. Like complete spectator mode. Number 7, and this one's really basic. You have to keep people accountable. Now, for some people, you can leave them be and leave them accountable, but for some other people, that's not always the case. So in this article, it pointed out 3 points on how you're able to hold people accountable. Basically, in this article, it talks about having review sessions, and it has three bullet points here. Number one, it says it lets them know that they will be held accountable for the activities that you assign them to. Number two, it gives you an opportunity to provide support in case things start to go haywire. And number three, it offers you the opportunity to offer praise and encouragement to move people further if things are going well. So those are the 7 truths about accountability. Accountability is definitely something you have to work on. It doesn't happen overnight. Anything with self-growth definitely takes time. I myself, I'm growing every single day with this stuff here. I go through the same battles, you know. And I know I've stated this multiple times on my videos. Just because I show a lot of positivity out on social media doesn't mean I don't have negative things happening in my life. I just don't like showing that out in public. And if you do hang around me, you know, sometimes I can get pretty negative at times, you know. But that's just the honest truth, you know. I'm not gonna sit around and, you know, bullshit around, to be honest. But I do my best to show positivity out in this world because, like I said in, you know, multiple of my posts on social media, what you give out is what you get back, and I deeply, deeply believe in that. If you find this video valuable, leave a thumbs up. If you don't, leave a thumbs down so at least I know. Leave a comment or something like that. Well, there you guys have it. For all the listeners out there, I just want to say thank you. I love you. You're awesome. Go make somebody smile, compliment someone, and most importantly, go after your dreams. This is Ray signing out. Peace.